Da da dun, da 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 dun, da 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 dun, da da dun, da 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 dun. They're creepy and they're kooky, mysterious and spooky. They've got no men left. The Delts family. Anyone notice how the Delts family have literally become Tim Burton's Addams family? Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice. Well, took moviegoers long enough to say his name a thrice for him to return to the silver screen. Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, directed once again by Tim Burton, and is the 2024 sequel to Tim Burton's 1988 horror comedy classic. So Beetlejuice Beetlejuice tells the story taking place decades after its predecessor, where Lydia, now a fully grown woman, and has her teenage daughter Astrid, played by Jenna Ortega. Perfect casting. Wednesday Addams herself, and Astrid has become estranged from her mother, grieving her grandfather and her father. So there's literally no men left in the Delts family. All that remain now are Delori, Lydia's stepmother, and Astrid's grandmother, and just the three women. And after the funeral services, Astrid falls in love with a ghost boy who wants her help to restore his life, so he tricks her into going into the afterlife. So, with his name said 3 times, Beetlejuice himself, played once again by Michael Keaton, returns, and Lydia makes a deal with him to get Astrid back, but she must promise to marry him this time. Now, with the original Beetlejuice being Tim Burton's first true great movie, it was only a matter of time before it would spawn a follow-up, and it's not an easy movie to follow up, and they're the chances of the sequel topping the original were 100 to 1, and yet you could see Tim Burton was eager to make this sequel to uh, uh, make up for Dumbo 2019, his worst piece of shit that he now has renounced and no longer wants any parts. So this is Tim Burton returning to what he does best when he's not making unnecessary remakes. He's good. And Beetlejuice Beetlejuice, a sequel which just says the title of the original twice. It's not twice as good as the original, as some of us had hoped. Even if it is more imperfect than its predecessor, this is still a fun and enjoyable enough continuation of the Beetlejuice story. Michael Keaton reprised his role as Batman in The Flash last year so effortlessly, and he perfectly slips back into the role of the mischievous demon and former grave robber Beetlejuice with flying colors. And even though he is considerably older now, he is still full of life, and uh, and eats up every ounce of the scenery when he's on screen. To address the criticism that some say, oh, Beetlejuice doesn't get enough screen time and feels like he's a cameo in his own movie, I don't get that. He may not be in the film as much as he is in the original, but that's perfectly okay, because Beetlejuice Beetlejuice is supposed to be different from the original, not copying it, and he's still in it enough, so his screen time was satisfactory. And him marrying Lydia again does make sense, because he now has something to offer Lydia to marry him in exchange for her daughter back. And we do go a little further into his backstory and the faces from his past, particularly Dolores, played by the uh, uh, gorgeous and wonderful Monica Belinsky, who was a Bond girl in Inspector. Lydia continues to be my personal favourite Beetlejuice character and favourite member of the Delta family, as yeah, she's now got her own ghost talk show. So she's done brilliantly for herself, and is now widowed and has even not lost her father. So now the only family she has are her stepmother and daughter. And so she is willing to go to extreme lengths when to protect her daughter when she hears her daughter has entered the afterlife, and willing to marry Beetlejuice all over again, uh, and to get and she does get back into her red dress from the first movie, and Winona Ryder is still a babe to this day. Yeah, she uh, has not aged a day. And of the new characters in the sequel, Astrid, played by the uh, awesome Jenna Ortega, absolutely steals the show. She is, of course, rebellious and naturally misses her father and grandfather, losing them at such a young age, and of course doesn't get her mother's knowledge about the afterlife, because hasn't gone through what her mother went through yet. Her father being devoured and a feast for piranhas in the Amazon. That was a pretty bloody and messed up uh, way to go. Still say Jenna Ortega's very best role would be Wednesday Addams, but this role is different as she gets to show more human emotion, whereas Wednesday was a totally emotionless character. But Astrid is not a damsel in distress, so thankfully, no. Even when she is tricked into going into the afterlife, the script does make her kick ass by the climax. So she is a real fighter like her mother. And the film uh, certainly looks like the original Beetlejuice visually. Yeah, Tim Burton did his best to bring the aesthetic of the original to the sequel. So uh, writing wise, it's not in the same vein as the original, but look wise, it looks like nothing has changed in 36 years. But there are more missed opportunities with Beetlejuice, and yeah, the script is certainly a downgrade from the script of the original, and let me touch on why. Uh, I do feel we could have seen the original ghost couple from the original again. I get that Barbara's actress felt like if they'd returned, it wouldn't make sense because ghosts are ageless. But even so, it feels like Tim Burton couldn't be asked to bring them back from the original, and they were such they were some of the most charming characters from the original. They were missed. Also, Monica Belinsky as Dolores. I mean, no faulting her acting. I mean, she is marvelous in the role. She does look like she could play a great version of Morica Adams in Adam's Family someday. But she does feel wasted. Like she she should have had more screen time. Given that she is Beetlejuice's former lover, you'd think she'd be integrated even more. And also Rory, Lydia's financial advisor. Yeah, he was obviously had villain written all over him, and yeah, and his dialogue was that bad. They even have William Defoe as a wolf detective, which is a well which is such a fun character, but again, he's wasted. This Tim Burton did not utilize such a talented caster to their full potential, and plus Astrid's ghost boyfriend, yeah, that storyline with him tricking her into the afterlife was resolved too easily, and also Catherine O'Hara reprising her role as Delary. She is ever so good in the movie, and you can feel the pain inside her grieving her husband Charles. But I don't feel she was enough in the movie either. Like, and I mean, even though she does get to reunite with Charles again in the afterlife, which is a beautiful resolution to her character. So overall, Beetlejuice is a good but not so great sequel. But and it would still be in my top 10 Tim Burton movies, and I'd still take this over several other of his misfires for sure.
I give Beetlejuice 3 stars out of 5. Good movie.
So yeah, Wednesday season 2 of 2025 is not so going to disappoint, and Tim Burton is continuing to be on a winning streak right now. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. And what are your thoughts on Beetlejuice? Which Beetlejuice do you prefer, the original or the sequel? Please comment and let me know. Please like this video and subscribe. Please follow on Twitter and on Instagram. And I'll see you next time when, as requested, my long emphasis on long overdue review of the 1964 Disney classic Mary Poppins for its 60th anniversary. And remember, movies are us. Bye, guys.